Now, I bet you haven't really heard of this Benjamin Moore paint color, but that's okay, because I'm about to share with you why ice fog needs to be on your radar for your next paint project. Here's what you need to know: undertones, LRV, and some flawless color pairings. All in just a few minutes. Let's get going, shall we? Ice Fog by Benjamin Moore is part of the CSP line of colors. It stands for Color Stories Palette. They're some of the newer colors that Benjamin Moore has released, and a lot of them have a ton of nuance, and this color is no different. This is a light neutral with some complexity, and it has a 71 LRV, which means it reflects 71% of the light that hits it. That does make it a light feeling color, which is good news on the interior side of things because we like these colors that are light leaning. They're going to feel a little more airy, and they're going to reflect more light back into your space, which means everything's going to feel a little more open and comfortable. There is a slight cool green undertone here. It may just seem like a blah neutral that is just essentially a little bit of gray and a little bit of beige, but no, there is that cool green aspect that does give it a little bit of that icy feeling to it, which I do find fairly captivating. Because some green undertones can be a bit yellowy, which can be off-putting to a lot of people. It can almost make a paint color look sickly in a way, but that's not the case here. I feel this is very balanced and neutral and just an awesome backdrop color. A little more complex than you might expect compared to other grays in the category. More so than ever, this is a color you really want to test. And while you're at it, why don't you test these color pairings that I put together for it? Let's go over to the computer and I'll show you exactly what colors I would pair with this one. So Ice Fog is part of the Color Stories palette, like I mentioned earlier, which means this is a complex color. So it's not as simple as just, okay, we have a little bit of white, a little bit of gray, and maybe some green. There's just a ton going on here. It is very nuanced, very chameleon-like. It'll change depending on your lighting, which can be annoying to some people, but I find it interesting. In terms of color pairings that I would put with it, for the white option, I'm going to go with another CSP color, which is called Paper Doll. Similar in the sense that you have a neutral here that is a little cooler leaning, bit of a green undertone, gray-green, a little more clean than Ice Fog. It's going to feel a little more light and white. And this is going to be for anyone that doesn't want just simple white trim. You want something a little more subtle and nuanced. The 79.5 LRV also makes it fairly usable on walls, so don't feel like this needs to be your trim color. And then for my light option, I want to bring a little bit more warmth in the form of Collingwood. Interestingly enough, Collingwood is one of the cooler, warm grays out there, which I think fits this color palette perfectly because we already have the coolness in Ice Fog and a touch of it in Paper Doll. Collingwood brings in a little bit more of that beige quality to sort of round things out a touch. But what's really cool about this color is sometimes it almost has like a purple touch to it, which is really rich and luxurious feeling. 61 LRV, so fairly light, still an excellent wall color. I almost feel like this could be the color you can really base your palette off of. And then Ice Fog is more of that secondary choice where you want to cool things down a little bit more. And then for my bright option to finish things off, we have Jamestown Blue. Fantastic name. My name is James, by the way. Nice to meet you. This is going to be the accent color. 33 LRV, very rich, a beautiful combination of blue with a little touch of a warm undertone. Very rich in comparison to these other colors, but you do have that just dusty quality that I think makes it more palatable for people that are a little spooked by color. Wonderful bedroom color, excellent accent choice, even off of the walls if you want it on pillows and things like that. This is the color that really ties it all together for me. Collingwood is probably the color you would use the most in this palette, and we have more information on it right over here, so go check this out.